Stan Fisher said a few days ago that if the president hadn't been pushing the Fed, it wouldn't have raised rates as much as it would have done. What are the unintended consequences of the president's tweet today, do you think?
I think that the Federal Reserve is losing gradually its integrity. I think it doesn't help that most of the projection has been off by a huge amount over the last 10 years. But overall, I think this whole concept of fake news, the what is facts, what is not facts, and the intervention that we see. And don't forget, it's not only now an attack on the Federal Reserve. The other week we saw he was also attacking directly the ECB's Draghi, which is unheard of. I mean, I may look very young, but I've been doing this job for 30 years, Guy. I've never ever seen a national sort of president go out and go after a foreign country's central bank. This is extremely unlikely to be very fruitful. Certainly not for the integrity of either the ECB or Federal Reserve.
Steen, does it do anything to the credibility of these independent central banks, though? I mean, the idea that, you know, a president of a functioning democracy could have an impact on independent central banks would normally be out of the question. What is the status of that statement today?
I think exactly because that the central bank has become rock stars, and as they become rock stars, they also became the go-to sort of point guard for making sure that the economy survive throughout this pretended extent that we've seen over the last 10 years. So effectively, the central bankers took the job of the politicians, and as they took the job of the politicians, it sort of left a vacuum and a disconnect between the independence and the policy. At all times now, they seem to be concerned about the stock market, more about the economy. That creates a sort of a noise with that people who lives in the real economy. So effectively, they created a bubble in the assets, and they created a recession in manufacturing, in inequality, in its ability to navigate new sort of ways of doing it. So I think in itself, the monetary policy dictated that politics and central banking became one of the same.